Hey guys, impaKt here. A lot of you have asked me about Annie, but even though I understand how she's supposed to be played, I never truly practiced playing with her, so I couldn't say anything specific. To be completely honest, I have around 10 games with support Annie right now, so I don't feel like I'm in a good position to actually offer you a guide on how to play her. This is why I decided to start a new series called First Impressions. So welcome to my First Impressions episode starring support Annie. Please note that this is just my opinion. I may be slightly off about some things, but it's just what I've gathered so far after playing with her for a few days. So let's start by analyzing the basics. From the get-go, I know what her strengths and weaknesses are. She's vulnerable when she doesn't have stun, but she's incredibly strong when she does have it. She has a huge attack range, but she doesn't have a lot of base damage on her autos. She has a good base damage on her skills, but kind of falls off if she doesn't get any kills. Skill-wise, her Disintegrate, which is usually her main damage skill and her main source of Pyromania stacks, has a high mana cost for support, since you can actually last hit in order to refund your mana, or your AD carry will lose farm. It also offers a single target non-skill shot nuke that will stun the target whenever you please. Her Incinerate costs even more mana, which makes this a really costly way of stacking up your passive. However, it provides AoE damage and more importantly, AoE stun when you have 4 Pyromania stacks. Its range is somewhat short though. Molten Shield is pretty damn awesome. It increases your armor and magic resist when you activate it, while dealing damage to enemies who use basic attacks on Annie. This is actually perfect to have on the bottom lane, since the highest damage source you'll be facing is from auto attacks. Also, it costs 20 mana to cast, meaning this is probably the best way you'll have of stacking up your passive without screwing up your AD carry's farm. Summon Sabers has crap loads of AoE damage, especially early on. Her ultimate makes her fit just perfectly in the concept of a kill lane post level 6. It also deals damage over time to targets near it and blocks skill shots fired from your enemies. I get the feeling that if you practice your micro, Tibbers could be one of the most awesome skills support could have. Ever imagine a Tibbers blocking a Blitzcrank's hook? Let's talk about the laning phase. I have been stacking up the passive slowly while harassing only with auto attacks because of the skill's mana costs. Then you can just use your stun to go in on someone for quick and clean trades with no chance of retaliation. Strong early game AD carries seem like really good fits for the laning phase. Have I mentioned Jinx yet? Seriously, Tibbers stun plus Disintegrate plus Incinerate plus Jinx's snare and burst damage is just insane. She is also really good at setting up ganks for your jungler. Your chances of escaping an incoming gank when the enemy Annie has her stun ready is just ridiculously low. She seems to have bad sides too though. She doesn't seem to fare too well against sustain lanes unless she manages to get a kill at levels 1 to 3. You'll have to wait for level 6 and try to get a kill with Tibbers. As for mid-game, your roaming and pick-off potential is immense, and I truly love this kind of support, something with a non-ultimate crowd control skill that allows your teammates to pick up kills or that can completely turn around a skirmish. She has a lot of presence in Drake fights as well. Ignoring the support simply is not an option in this case. If you can get a Cage's Lucky Pick at this stage and an Oracle's, you have a lot of damage and the enemy won't be able to deal with your rotations throughout the map. Late game wise, she doesn't have a lot of damage. It seems to me that if you pick up Annie, you should try to finish the game during mid game, but this doesn't mean she's useless, only that she's not as good. You still have a lot of engage or protection peeling potential for your AD carry, but if you spend your game engaging or roaming, maybe you should consider switching your role in teamfights when you enter the late game. It seems to work out more effectively that way. Final thoughts. Thanks to the fact that her stun is actually provided by her passive, and that her Incinerate doesn't require a target, you can actually charge up your stun at level 1 in your own base. This pretty much means that Annie's level 1 is just beyond awesome, and that you could potentially be looking for an invade. Don't forget that Incinerate will also deal AoE damage and stun, so you can for instance stun the 5 members of a single team level 1. Her laning phase is great, both in swap situations or standard. Like with every support, she can be countered. If Annie can't approach the enemies to land her stun or to poke with her immense auto attack range, she'll likely fall off. So using Annie against a Caitlyn, Ezreal, Corki, or even Fiddle, Sona, or Nami may not be such a great idea, and well, unless you're swapping or your jungle is going to gank bottom lane often. However, pair Annie with a Caitlyn, Jinx, or Corki, and no one will even dare to come near you. The greatest thing about Annie in my opinion is her ultimate's cooldown though. 2-minute cooldown for an AoE stun with tons of damage seems like too good to be true. If you like to roam, I definitely recommend you pick her up and give her a try. She seems like a really viable and decent pick at the moment, but we'll see what Season 4 brings. And that's all for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the series. I'll be trying to make more of these once Season 4 starts to let you guys know what I think about each support after the imminent changes. I'd like to invite you all to follow my stream as well, as I just recently started to stream regularly. I'll actually try to stream every day, so make sure you stay tuned. You can find the link in the description. As always, don't forget to visit my website, follow my Facebook and Twitter, and to subscribe to both mine and BasedDesires YouTube channels. None of my guides would be any good without a Beast soundtrack. So once again, thanks for watching, good luck, have fun, and until next time.